I was born August the 11th, 1930 in Belvedere Gardens, East LA. I had about 4 goats that I milked morning and night. I had to milk the goats, so I was pretty busy doing what they called chores. I went to high school at El Monte High. I was in the middle of the 11th grade, 17 years old. A friend of mine, his bus was right behind my bus, and he come running up to me. He said, "Hey, Art," he said, "let's go join the Marines." And that was in February 1948. I said, "Okay." So we walked off the school grounds, caught the bus on the corner, and went down and joined. I went into the Marine Corps thinking it was a pretty good deal because there was no war, and I'd get one of those Marine Corps uniforms. I graduated Marine Corps boot camp at San Diego and went directly to Camp Pendleton. I was in the infantry. John Wayne approached the Marine Corps about making the movie Sands of Iwo Jima, and he selected our company to be the backup for the movie. In June of 1950, our gunny sergeant said North Korea's invaded South Korea. And we said, "Gunny, where's Korea?" He said, "I was there during World War II as a prisoner." And he said, "You'll find out." We sailed from San Diego on the 14th of July for Korea. We docked in Busan on August the 3rd. We went up to the capital of North Korea, and the only thing we saw there, the enemy, was pictures on billboards. We scouted that area out and found no enemy there. So we loaded a black aboard ship and went around to the west side of Korea and made a landing at Wonsan. In late November, it was getting pretty cold, getting down to 20, 30 below zero. We started getting some sniper fire, so we were ordered to set up a defense. That night, we set up our defense, set up watch, and at 10:30, the moon come out, and the Chinese came out of their hiding places, and they came out with whistles and bugles and all kinds of intimidating sounds, but it didn't intimidate us. We were ready for them. All hell broke loose. We were told there might be 2,000 Chinese that had come across. We started firing and firing and firing, and it lasted about 30, 45 minutes. In about a half hour, here they come again. We had to move our machine gun positions because the bodies were stacked too high. We made it through that night. Next morning when daybreak came, it was just as peaceful as could be. No noise, no sound. Next night, we set up a defense, and we were ready for them. We had what we called illumination mortar shells. Fire mortar in the air, and they'd light up the sky. We were going to make our way back to the harbor, which was 78 miles, and the weather had begun to get real cold at this time, up to 40 below. And we weren't really prepared for that. We had what we called parkers. It was a heavy coat. And we had these rubber galoshes that we put on over our boots. The feet would sweat when we were in movement, and then when we were not moving, they would freeze. We would move at night and fight the enemy at night. One night, we'd get in a lot of enemy fire, and we radioed for air support, and this Navy plane came in, turned on this big light, and let go of all the rockets he had, and that was the end of that fire. We were able to make a perimeter, and the Army flew supplies into us. We waited for that bridge. Our company only had 3 killed at the reservoir. Hard to talk about, but some of the dead, we had to break their arms and legs to make them where we could stack them because they would quick freeze. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. We didn't have time to fear. At this time, we had picked up an estimated 100,000 refugees. It would have been a whole different story without that bridge. The bridge was necessary. As soon as we came out around this curve, coming down into the harbor, we saw the ships. We straightened up, started singing the Marine Corps hymn. That was quite a reckoning to see all those Marines. And when we got to the harbor, there was 2 or 3 mail bags full of mail. We sailed back down to Pusan. We needed a little rest. There was no fighting going on, but I heard my name called, and they said, "You're being relieved. You're going home." And we got home Easter Sunday of 1951. They had a line of convertibles waiting for us. The way honor flight has been set up, what a trip that was. She was at the dinner and they introduced her, and she got up almost with tears in her eyes, thanking us for bringing her mother and father out of North Korea. She was born in South Korea, and she, some way, came to the States, became very wealthy, and it was put upon her heart to pay our ways. I took my daughter to help me, so she paid our way and our helper's way. She even paid for the parking at the airport. But that's a blessing, how she feels. The Marine Corps, I believe, is the best fighting force in the world.